Ferrari may have just built the most dangerous aerodynamic weapon of the season, and Spa could be where the entire championship begins to shift. The radical Macarena evolution rotates its upper flap through roughly 270 degrees, completes the transformation within 400 milliseconds, and has been estimated to deliver between 8 and 10 kilometers per hour in the right conditions. The FIA has already inspected and approved the system. Ferrari has already won with the latest package, and now an even more aggressive version is expected at one of the fastest, most drag-sensitive circuits on the calendar. But the real shock is not the top speed gain. Ferrari may be able to carry more downforce through Spa's fastest corners, remove much of the drag on the Kemmel Straight, and protect the tires at the same time. If that data is real across both cars, Mercedes and Red Bull may not be chasing one clever wing. They may be chasing a Ferrari that has finally broken Formula One's oldest compromise. Subscribe to the channel. To understand whether Ferrari is becoming unstoppable, you have to look beyond the headline speed figure. Because 8 to 10 kilometers per hour sounds dramatic. But speed alone does not explain why the Macarena evolution could become so dangerous at Spa. The real question is where that speed comes from, how Ferrari is creating it, and whether the gain survives across an entire lap. Spa forces every team into an uncomfortable choice. More downforce gives the driver confidence through the corners. Less downforce gives the car speed on the straights. Normally, improving one side of that equation weakens the other. Ferrari is trying to reduce that compromise. And if the system works as intended, the advantage could spread far beyond one speed trap. The Macarena wing changes the aerodynamic state of the car during the lap. In corner mode, the rear wing creates the load Ferrari needs for stability. That load helps the rear tires remain connected to the circuit. It gives Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton more confidence under braking. It supports the car through the middle of the corner, and it allows both drivers to return to the throttle with greater control. Then the car reaches the straight. The upper flap rotates through roughly 270 degrees. The element moves into an extreme low drag position. The rear wing stops presenting the same resistance to the airflow, and the Ferrari begins accelerating more freely. That transformation must happen within 400 milliseconds, less than half a second. One moment, the car is configured for grip. The next, it is configured for speed. That is the basic idea, but the execution is much more complex. The rear wing cannot simply rotate on its own. The front active aerodynamics must change with it. The aerodynamic balance must remain stable. The driver must not feel a sudden loss of rear confidence. The system must complete the movement at the correct time, and the wing must return to corner mode before the driver reaches the next braking zone. Any delay creates risk. Any inconsistency creates hesitation, and hesitation destroys lap time. That is why Ferrari spent months developing this device before committing to it permanently. The wing first appeared during pre-season testing in Bahrain. It immediately attracted attention. The movement looked extreme. The sponsor logo turned upside down. The flaps seemed to dance through the air. Fred Vasseur compared it to the Macarena. The name stayed, but Ferrari did not immediately use the system in every session. It appeared during first practice in China. Then the team removed it before qualifying. Vasseur explained that Ferrari had not completed enough mileage. That decision revealed how seriously the engineers treated the risk. A moving rear wing must operate under enormous aerodynamic load. The forces increase with speed. The actuator must overcome those forces. The structure must remain stiff. The mechanism must return to the exact same position, and it must repeat the sequence again and again without failure. One successful activation means almost nothing. Ferrari needed hundreds. Different speeds, different temperatures, different wind conditions, different fuel loads, different tire states. The team had to prove that the system would behave predictably every time. That is why the FIA inspection at Maranello mattered so much. The governing body examined the design directly. It checked the opening and closing sequence. It confirmed that the movement complied with the required timing window. The device was homologated. That removed one of the easiest ways for Ferrari's rivals to stop it. There is no confirmed ruling declaring the system illegal. There is no verified protest that has forced Ferrari to remove it. The Macarena wing passed the required inspection, and that changes the competitive situation completely. An illegal advantage can disappear with one technical directive. A legal advantage forces every rival to react. Mercedes cannot simply complain. Red Bull cannot simply wait. McLaren cannot assume the concept will be banned. They have to understand it. Then they have to develop something better. That consumes time, engineers, simulation capacity, manufacturing resources, reliability testing, software development. One Ferrari concept can create work across the entire grid. And while the other teams are studying the version Ferrari has already shown, Ferrari may be developing the next one. That is where the idea of an evolution becomes so important. The Macarena system is not one fixed wing, it is a platform. Ferrari can change the flap profile, the rotation angle, the main plane shape, the actuator behavior, the interaction with the diffuser, the balance between the front and rear active systems. The same general concept can be adapted for different circuits. At one track, Ferrari may want more downforce. At another, it may want a lower drag state. At Spa, the team needs both. That makes Belgium the perfect place to test the most aggressive version yet. The Kemmel Straight exposes drag brutally. A car that carries unnecessary resistance cannot hide. The speed trace will reveal the weakness. The car will climb through Eau Rouge and Rydillen, then continue accelerating for several seconds. Every aerodynamic inefficiency remains active through the entire run. That is why even a few kilometers per hour matter. But the reported 8 to 10 km per hour estimate must still be treated carefully. Ferrari has not publicly confirmed the exact gain. The number comes from paddock estimates. The claimed 11 km per hour advantage is not verified by the source. And even if the system reaches that figure in one condition, the result may not remain constant everywhere. The gain can change with wing level, wind direction, temperature, energy deployment, slipstream, ride height, and the point at which the system activates. That is why one number cannot tell the full story. The real performance is hidden inside the relationship between acceleration, downforce, and balance. Suppose Ferrari reaches a higher maximum speed than Mercedes. That could indicate lower drag, but it might also reflect more aggressive electrical deployment, a different gear ratio, a stronger toe, or less aerodynamic load through the entire lap. To identify the true advantage, rivals will study how quickly Ferrari gains speed after the wing rotates. If the difference appears immediately, the low drag state is working effectively. If the gap continues growing throughout the straight, Ferrari may be shedding a meaningful amount of resistance. If the gain appears only near the end, the power unit or energy strategy may be contributing more heavily. That is why the speed trace matters more than the final speed trap number. The trace shows the story. It shows when the advantage begins, how quickly it builds, and whether the Ferrari can maintain it. But the most frightening possibility for Ferrari's rivals is that the real advantage begins before Kemmel. It may begin in the corners. Imagine Ferrari can run more rear wing than Mercedes. That extra load helps through Eau Rouge. It improves stability through Pahon. It gives the rear tires more support under braking. It allows the drivers to carry more speed through the technical sections. Normally, Ferrari would pay for that choice on the straights. The extra wing would create extra drag. But the Macarena system may remove enough of that penalty to keep the car competitive in a straight line. That is the breakthrough. Not simply a faster low drag state, a stronger corner setup without the normal cost. If Ferrari has achieved that, the team can attack Spa with a completely different compromise. Mercedes may have to reduce wing to protect top speed. That could make the car less stable through the fast corners. Red Bull may choose more downforce and become vulnerable on Kemmel. McLaren may find a balanced setup, but sacrifice peak performance in both areas. Ferrari may be able to take more from the corners and give less away on the straights. That is how one wing changes the entire lap. And that is why Ferrari's data will be so closely studied. Rivals will compare corner entry speed, minimum speed, throttle application, steering correction, rear tire temperature, acceleration, energy deployment, wing position. Every channel can reveal part of the system's behavior. If Leclerc and Hamilton can return to full throttle earlier, Ferrari may be carrying more rear stability. If the car remains calm through the high-speed sections, the aerodynamic platform may be more predictable. If the speed trap still shows strong numbers, the low-drag mode may be removing the expected penalty. That combination would be far more important than one spectacular maximum speed. It would show Ferrari has widened the operating window. A wider operating window means the car remains competitive across more conditions. Heavy fuel, light fuel, new tires, worn tires, clean air, dirty air, dry weather, changing weather. Spa can expose all of those conditions in one weekend. The circuit is famous for rapid changes. One section can be wet while another remains dry. Wind can alter the car's balance through fast corners. Temperature can move the tires in and out of their ideal range. A narrow car becomes difficult. A flexible car becomes powerful. Ferrari's stated technical direction has focused on improving balance range and extracting performance across the complete operating envelope. That language reveals the deeper objective. The team does not want one perfect qualifying lap. It wants a car the drivers can trust for an entire race. That is especially important because Ferrari's earlier problems were not limited to outright pace. Tire degradation also became a concern. When the aerodynamic balance is unstable, the driver makes corrections. The rear slides. The tires generate excess heat. Grip begins falling. Then the driver slides even more. That cycle can destroy a stint. A more stable rear platform can reduce those corrections. The tires remain within a healthier temperature range. The driver can apply power more smoothly. And the race pace becomes more consistent. That means the Macarena system may influence tire life as well as straight-line speed. This is one reason Ferrari paired the updated wing with other rear-end changes. Before Silverstone, the team rushed a more aggressive package containing a revised low-drag diffuser and exhaust modifications. Those parts were not independent. The rear wing changes the pressure behind the car. That pressure affects how the diffuser extracts air from beneath the floor. The diffuser influences the car's underbody downforce. The exhaust area can alter the airflow around the rear. Change one part, and the others may respond. Ferrari was not simply adding a rotating flap. It was trying to optimize the entire rear aerodynamic system. That matters because a low-drag wing is only valuable if the diffuser remains controlled. If the rear wing unloads and the diffuser suddenly loses efficiency, the back of the car can become unstable. If the pressure changes too sharply, the driver may feel the rear move during the transition. If the load does not return smoothly before the next corner, braking confidence disappears. Ferrari, therefore, needs the whole rear of the car to respond as one system.